Let's talk about unemployment, because that's a major issue here. You're from Parliament. We're now being told by the Ghana Statistical Service that some 1.3 million youth remain unemployed.
Yes, and that is worrying. It's alarming, you know.
But we've been saying alarming, worrying over the years, yet the numbers still persist. So what do we have to do that we are not doing?
Thank you.
As a country?
Thank you. You know, the unemployment situation, it's not something that is caused within a day or within a year. It's something that has run over the years, you know, and it's been continued and not taken care of. And I'll give you a typical example. You realize the declaration of one district, one factory by the previous administration. Can you imagine if those one factory, one district, one factories were truly realized, built, and each factory is even employing about 3,000 workers over the period in a particular constituency, times the number of constituencies we have in this country, the number of districts we have in this country. You know the number of youths that would have been employed. But you see, the mere pronunciation and statement of that nature, policies that are not realized practically, leads to those things. And don't forget that day in, day out, students are finishing school, graduates have been passed out, and we have them in the system, and there's no place to go. What we do is that somebody's gone on retirement, and we're replacing the person, or we're bringing a lot more people into one particular organization. There are no chairs for them to even sit on. Go to the Bank of Ghana, for example, right now. I am told that the number of employment seekers to the Bank of Ghana cannot even take, even 10% of them. And where do we put all these people? And that is why it is important to encourage individual, employment, individuals opening businesses for themselves, the private sector encouraging them, giving them, incentives for them to employ more people. And I'll give you a typical example. You remember His Excellency John Dramani Mahama's administration 2016, where he had to resource some of the pharmaceutical industries to open up and employ more young people. I mean, we saw the MPP government came in 8 years. One district, one factory never got realized. What other thing did they talk about? Feeding Ghana or what have you? Nothing happened. Today, you see the Ngukon, for example, in my constituency, we're registering more than 500 people to start with, to train them in poultry, people whom we're giving, skills training to. Today, we have people who are given apprenticeship free of charge. And we're equipping them to be of themselves and to do something for themselves. And I've been telling the youth every day that, you see, it is good when you finish school, government give you employment. It's good. But you see, you can never be richer than your employer. For example, you're sitting here. You can never be richer than Constitution because he will only pay you from the resources that he is getting. And he cannot love you more than himself. I mean, that's the principle of life. So if you want to be rich, if you want to be like the Sam Jonas that I respect so much, boss, I mean, you want to be like the Kosiciums, you want to be like the Ibrahim Mahamas, you want to be like the, despites and all that. You cannot work for somebody and be richer than the person. So our youths must be encouraged to begin to think about how to open their own businesses, how to operate. The government must, provide a very enabling environment today. If you're a trader, you want to travel abroad to bring things to come and sell, the dollar is relatively stable. You have better rate. Today, the environment is good. Electricity, power is stable. The environment is fine. The youth must be encouraged to do things for themselves. In as much as the government is doing whatever it is to employ a law, the youth must be encouraged to do a lot of things.
So if next year...
For me, when we do this...
If next year the Statistical Service comes out to say we still have around 1.3 million unemployed, what would you say?
Like I said, the canker has been with us for long. Mm-hmm. It's not going to go away just a day or a year. It's going to take time. And you see, the renewal of our minds from government giving everybody job into going to school and equipping yourself to even run your own business is going to take time. Today, for example, I'll give you a typical example. You know, the security services that are recruiting now, the military, you know, they are almost done. The police service, the fire service, the prisons, and then the immigration. You'll be amazed to see the number of young men and women who buy the forms, go to the net and register, and they are bringing their application forms to me to help them to get those services. And I keep telling them, there is nothing like protocol. This government, you can only get through and get those services, get employed, when you are truly and properly, legitimately been vetted, been examined, and you go through the process and you get it.
So you're saying that
So
the gains, you're saying that the gains in the economy in this year cannot reflect in the number of employment that we will see next year when this is done.
No, I mean, I am saying to you that in as much as it's going to reflect, it cannot mop up all the youths from the system and get zero unemployment. It's not going to happen. I am saying to you, it's going to be gradual.
Yes, I get it.
It's going to be gradual.
That's why I was asking you.
You're going to see some
says,
improvements next year. It will come again the next year, previous years. You know, the subsequent years, you're going to see them. I am saying to you, government alone cannot employ all the youths.
That's true.
It is important that we equip the private sector, and of course they are the most employing organizations. The private sector should employ more young people, and young people must be encouraged.
Thank you very much.
To do more for themselves too.
Okay, I'm grateful.
Otherwise, government, you see, how much is even in the past? Okay. How much are we using to pay for salaries and all that?
Thank you.
We need to build roads like the big push.
Thank you very much.
And so forth and so on.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
David Von Diet, MP for Timokwa. Let me bring in Alfred Thompson. Alfred, how do we deal with it?
But isn't it funny?
What is funny?
This whole gymnastics going on. In one hand, you come and sit here and condemn an initiative that is trying to build and give jobs. You come and condemn it. Then in another hand, you come and say that, and the private sector should build. Why would they come and build if you are condemning it? Then one day, if you are condemning it. And you sit here and you think that people will take you serious. What happened to the 133? What happened to the 133? Our hope, our only hope. You are calling your brother to help you. You are calling him to help you. What happened to the 133? When they told us that, we are going to create 133 jobs, when they came, they sacked. They were sacking left, right, center, forward. As if there was the people that were being sacked are not Ghanaians.
Were you able to build the one district, one factory? How many of them?
Didn't you sack people? Did you sack people or not? In official positions, you are sacking people. As if there's no tomorrow. Then when you finish, you come and tell us that, you've employed your own people back there, and you're telling that, we are doing a 133 well. That is why you have 1.3 million. It's left with the last three. 133, no, it's left with the last three. Let us sit down and know what we want. It's not this political gimmicks that when you want power, they come and sit down, I'll create, I'll do, I'll say, 133. Don't worry, when we come, we'll create the jobs for you. There's everything there already. Government can do everything. Government is already doing it. If we don't sit down and practically plan and move this country in a direction that we expect it to go, we will all fail. What is going on now is not fun. What is going on now? To the extent that even people who wanted to go to the military died recently. May God help them. May God save their souls.
If you had employed them,
consistently over the years,
huge number.
Consistently over the years, we have been having security employment. None died. None went through this inhuman situation. Very wicked situation that you took them through.
And people,
that they needed to rush and stampede people just to get jobs to do because they have promised them 133, our only hope, John Mahama, the hope.
he remains.
You were
our
not.
hope.
You are not even saying hope. You are saying John Mahama, our hope, our hope, our hope. And look at us today. Look at us today. The hope or the hope, no. People have gone. Their lives have been lost. Today, they are going to spend Christmas. Some parents are going to spend Christmas without their children. Today, because they were looking for jobs, the 133 that were promised them. Some parents are going to, and we sit down, and you don't have any sight of what is going to happen. There is nothing showing that in 2026. He can't even sit here and tell me how many people they've employed this year. He cannot sit here and tell me how many people they've employed this year. Genuinely.
But they're just one year in government.
1 year, tell us how many people you've employed.
I'm saying that they're just 1 year.
Even 6
They are
months.
preparing the
Even
ground.
6 months, they were telling us that they've done so much for this country. 6 months down the line, didn't they come and tell us that they've done so much? So tell us how many people you've employed, how many you sacked, and how many you replaced, and how many you've really employed. That shows that the country is serious. That shows that the government is serious. That shows that the government is taking us into a direction that we all want to go. That gives us the hope, not the hope that they gave us. They should take us serious. Oh. Ghanaians, when they start keeping quiet, you should be afraid. When they start keeping quiet, you should be very afraid.
But if there is 1.3 million, won't your government take the blame more than they? Because you just left power.
Every time, as you said, every time, yes, we add on. We came to meet. We employed.
Okay.
We came to meet. We created a situation where jobs should be created through private sector. So create the enabling environment for them so that you cannot take everything. You would give them the chance, apart from taking your normal security services and all these other things, you would give the private sector the enabling environment to also create the jobs. Give them that chance.
That's what
and that is why,
with 24-hour
that is why, where is the 133?
They've explained, that's what.
So where is the 133? 1 year, where is the 133? They've taken 1.3 out and given us 1.3 million unemployed youth. They've taken 1.3 out. Whether they are hiding it or chewing it is up to them. He's sitting here. I don't see how they can tell us that. Listen, we created over 100 1D, 1F factories.
Where are they located? Working, how many people have you employed?
Even
Stop this.
if you have 5 people per factory, you are building upon it. Factories grow. And when they are growing, you employ more. You can't start a factory today and employ 3,000 people. It can never happen. It takes 2, 4, 5 years and above for even the factory to stabilize itself before you can employ more. So grow upon it. Let's add more. Let's add more. Fortunately for them, they have a former trade minister who is in their government. And President Mahama has told us that he has a special place in his government. So if you have the former trade, and he's even giving them his blueprint of the UP++ tradition that he is creating. He's giving them the blueprint. He's created this and now he's working on AU and other things. So he's creating that environment for them. So they should sit down and show us what they have done, what they are doing, and give the hope, not the hope that they promised Ghanaians.
What's the difference between hope and hope? You want to tell Ghanaians?
You should tell us.
Nanayo, let me bring you in. I mean, how do we genuinely deal with unemployment in this country
Thank you very much.
without being political about it, as we've always been?
Let me address certain issues in
Okay.
a minute or two. I believe that
A minute will do.
sometimes when we are making some pronouncement, one, we need to be able to be factual. Your platform is huge, and we need to be able to make very responsible statements. If they are not true, we should know that they are not true. Okay. We sat here and Alfred just lied to Ghanaians. Blatant lie that Alan is in NDC's government. As what? Sometimes we need to be responsible when we are making certain pronouncements. Number 2, Alan's center, which organized the African Summit, had nothing to do with government. This is a private man who organized his summit to be able to push the agenda for AU. And if the president thinks that his experience, knowledge, and his connections in the international world can help him when he's AU chair. And he says that he would have him in a special place when he's AU chair. I think that we should rather be applauding our own. Would we want the president, when he's AU chair, to go to some other country to pick up somebody to come and help him to handle the responsibilities as an AU chair? And in fact, this was not an appointment, or this is not an appointment that has been given to Alan Tremantin. This is the mind or the thinking of the president, and when he assumes AU chair. So we need to be responsible when we are making such pronouncement. It is a lie, and I think that we should not, Ghanaians should just look over it. Now, number two, yes, after elections, you are able to go. We during campaign, we exchange ideas. We say what we want to do. We say how we would go about handling the economy of the country. And so after elections, if there has been an elected president and you choose to meet the person and give him a copy of your plan that you would have implemented if you were president, I do not think that there is anything wrong with that. After elections, we cooperate. It is about Ghana, Ghana first. Of course, even if Alan did not present a copy of his blueprint, that is a great transformational plan to certain president, it is online. People have access to it. There is nothing wrong with that. So we need to be able to deal with that issue. Now, on 1D1F, Honorable MP, I think that you have access to records. When you get to Parliament, request for Hansards from 2022, and you'd understand that my own brother, the late Mutala, even brought a question up which pulled Alan Tremantin to the floor of Parliament to answer questions on one district, one factory. You would agree with me that one district, one factory is the most, I don't have the word, but revolutionary, industrial, transformative policy that any African country could have implemented. Of course, before Alan Tremantin left office, we had 278 one district, one factory companies at various levels of completion.
Hey, listen.
We had about 106 or so, or 68 or so, I can't recall the numbers, which were already operational. And probably sometimes what most of you, the MPs, do not understand, because you refuse to come for briefing, is that one district, one factory was not a government project. You get me? And even our people, even from the NPP, you understand, those times, including the then information minister, did not even have proper understanding on this policy. Hey. It was a private, a public-private sector.
Which information minister are you talking about?
Let me go on. Now, number one.
Yeah, it's still serious. Which minister?
I said,
no,
I was referring to...
They have various information ministers.
Yeah.
Which one?
They have various information ministers under President Akufo-Addo. So which one?
So the information ministry. Let's move on.
No, you can't just make a rubber. No,
because
you can't do that.
For the minister who will be watching.
Yeah.
They watch.
Yes, because if they did,
to hear that,
we had issues even explaining.
To hear that,
don't do that.
They had a responsibility.
He didn't understand.
They had a responsibility. They had a responsibility to go out there to explain the policies in proper understanding to the Ghanaians. If they did, MP will not be seated here and saying that the one district, one factory was a failure. How?
Didn't you say MP was called, Alan was called to the floor of Parliament? Was it the MP there?
So that,
MP was there. So if Alan could not, yes, he was. If Alan could not explain to him, then how can an information minister explain to him?
But I think you just need to withdraw that statement that they didn't understand. Right. It's not fair to them.
No.
If you were the one, exactly. Good.
Now, what I was trying to explain is that we have to understand that government was creating the enabling environment.
UP plus.
Government was creating the enabling environment for the private sector to take advantage of. Yeah. So I'll give you an example, like Casaprecon. Casaprecon was an existing company, all right, and government supported them in their expansions. So go to Casaprecon and ask.
Kumasi, yeah.
Go to Casaprecon, Bolt and Nuts in Kumasi. Have you drunk a Kumfi juice before? Jesus. If you have, you will know that a Kumfi juice was never in existence. So we had existing companies and factories that needed government support.
and we gave them the government support. Some in terms of interest subsidy and others. You get me? And we have those that were not in existence.
It was done under Nanado's era.
Scratch. You understand me? So let us put that on record. We had 106 operational. We had about 140 something which was under construction. Various levels of completion. And this is on record. If you go to Parliament, request for the Hansards from 2022, and you would genuinely see the records there. Okay. And at that point, we had created in excess of 150,000 jobs, direct and indirect. I hope the direct and indirect, that one we can understand. The direct jobs were those who were...
understands.
No, so there be... technical.
How?
You understand me? So we need to be able to break it down. No. I'm not doing that.
So what's technical about that?
Ask which ones are the indirect jobs. So the person who was supplying water for the construction of the factory is an indirect job.
Yeah. Which of the factories are you talking about?
Which of the factories don't you know? Good, I said, and I'm giving you examples.
And you are mentioning
They're planting outside.
Casapreco is older than you. What you said.
Did you listen to me? I said that we had existing
and that's not what you said.
That's what he said. That is what he said.
You said to the Ghanaian people.
There were two.
Hold on.
I said there were two.
You said to the Ghanaian people that you were going to establish new.
No, that's not what they said. That's not
factual.
Oh,
it's not factual. Don't go there.
Please,
so you
don't go there. Don't start.
Don't go there.
Don't go there.
One factory.
My brother.
And then you are now telling the Ghanaian people that Casapreco, that is older than you, that Akufo-Addo established Casapreco. And that is one district, one factory. That giving
one thing about me is that in my communication, I don't do propaganda.
Listen.
I was very clear in my language.
Government giving
thank you very much.
Already this is my existing organization.
Of course.
When you were speaking,
creating
David.
I was very clear.
Amount.
When you were
talking, I was happy.
David. When you were talking, he was so quiet. So please.
No, but
give him the time. Note it. You can come in later. Note it down. Note it.
It's not. That's not it. Right? It's a common thing you've told Ghanaians.
No.
Everybody heard you out there.
David.
You come and say,
David.
I do not think that
he gave you enough respect when you're speaking. He was so quiet.
I do not.
So please write.
I do not think that there is anybody within the current government and in the former government that understands trade and industry than Alhaji Ramantin. And he was very clear in his communication on one district, one factory, that there were some factories that were almost going. There were some factories that needed some support to expand. So therefore, we would give them the opportunity, create the enabling environment for them to strive well. And I am giving an example that some of these companies were given, to an extent, interest subsidy on loans from PFIs, preferred financial institutions, that pushed them. And of course, the records are there to show.
I'm coming. Hold on. What is your challenge with what he's saying?
Okay. Ghana One District, One Factory initiative, launched by President Akufo-Addo 2017, is a government policy to industrialize the nation by establishing at least one manufacturing enterprise in each district.
And what is wrong with that?
Establishing one manufacturing enterprise in each district, not giving financial support to already existing organizations. So they call it 1D, 1F. Okay. So when you leave that and come and tell me that already existing organization, that government support Casapreco is one district, one factory, then I wonder how that fit into
that is fine.
What you told Ghanaians.
So you've heard him answer.
That's what we're saying.
Every policy has a generalized framework. Every policy has a, let me put it for a better understanding, has a vision.
Yeah.
The vision was to change Ghana's economy from the Gojisbet type of economy to an industrialized economy at the time. And the government at the time, its industrialization policy was being led by Alhaji Ramantin. And he stated that it was his vision to have manufacturing companies in
his
every...
problem is the Alhaji Ramantin name. Akufo-Addo decided not to give him the opportunity to implement what he wants to do.
Oh, but you need to
That
listen.
is your problem.
No, listen to him first, please. Nana, please
My
wrap up.
problem-
Our time is up. So wrap up. Let's go.
Let me just-
Let's go. Don't come in.
Let me just chip
He
in
was
on
not wearing
on the
red
Casapreco thing that
packet.
he's talking about.
He was not wearing red packet.
Casapreco, when they started, when Accra, the expansion went to Kumasi.
You never said you were going to expand
But you
organization.
You
say
said 1D, 1F. The expansion went to Kumasi.
Thank you. It's fine. Thank you. Nana, wrap up. Let's go.
If you don't know, let's
Our time is up.
Let me wrap up, man.
No, wrap up. Let's go.
No, okay.
I have
Wrap up.
one
Let's
quick
go.
suggestion.
Wrap up. Let's go.
As I was
You don't
saying,
have anything. There is nothing you bring in. You don't have anything.
Bonnie, please listen to Nana. Nana, let's go.
if you agree with me, there are even some African countries that brought in people to come and understand the framework of one district, one factory. In my view, we would agree that one district, one factory was a success. It was part of this same policy that we crafted what we call the automobile development policy that saw to the coming of this country giant automobile companies
drafted?
to start the assembling of vehicles in
Who
this
drafted?
country. You understand me? But far from that, I mean, so the argument is defeated. Now let's go to how we will deal with the issue of unemployment.
1 minute. My time
In
is
1
up.
minute.
We need to go.
See, if you read or you have the opportunity to read the Great Transformational Plan, you'd understand that we have a pillar that deals with human capacity building. Government would not be able to absorb everybody. But our educational sector ought to be able to be reviewed, to be able to fit in the current situations we are in. Now, we have people who are studying engineering, but do not even have practical hands when it comes to whatsoever engineering they are doing. Let us be able to create and encourage companies to compulsorily accept these students on industrial attachments for them to be able to develop skills. You cannot use book to be an entrepreneur. You need that practical mindset.
Okay. All right.
We need to be able to
You want us to
create
wrap up?
the enabling
want us to wrap
environment
up?
to expand
Okay.
private sector business.
We've run out of time.
That is very
we ran out of time.
This is a beautiful program. Sometimes, anyway, I didn't come early, so let me know.
He said something against you. What was it?
He called, he sat here and was saying I was lying about things.
But didn't
Or
you
you
lie?
lying?
So what?
Master,
Didn't you lie?
didn't we sit here and heard President Mahama saying that Alan has a place in his government? And
Which
when
government?
he becomes AU chair,
All right.
he's going to
It's
make sure.
a-
Thank you very much. Alfred Thompson
is he
is
going there as
a member of the MPP's Communication Directorate. David Bondi is MP for Trifu Etimokwa. Nana Yao Sapon is Deputy General Secretary of the United Party. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Well, we'll take a break here. We will be back with more, please.